What's up, everybody? Today we're chilling with Marius Reitz from LUNO, South Africa. He's the general manager for the African portfolio. Marius, how are you doing?
Even getting yourself.
Very good, man. It's so good to see you. I mean, we haven't touched base for a while. Obviously, lockdown's been a bit different for both of us. So, how's everything doing? How's LUNO doing on your side?
Thanks, Stephen. No, awesome, man. And I appreciate your time as well. Business have been good. Obviously, having to adapt to the initial lockdown end of March. So fortunately, we moved our entire business to remote working 2 weeks before the lockdown started. So we managed to navigate that first month or two fairly easily. So other than that, all good. The cryptocurrency prices have also spiked over the last couple of months. So we've been really busy, building new products for our customers, and yeah, we're very excited for the rest of this year, actually.
Awesome. So now that you've already gone right in. I love this, right? You're already giving us good news that the cryptocurrency has spiked, right? So obviously people and fans now know that LUNO is our future of money partner with Comic-Con Africa, right? So tell us a bit more about LUNO and how it can almost help our fans invest in Bitcoin and while helping them understand it a little bit better.
Yeah, sure, Stephen. So I think firstly, I'll dive right in. Our mission at LUNO is to upgrade the world to a better financial system. So that's almost a penny drop moment.
Yeah.
But effectively, what we're doing is we're building the gateway, or we are the gateway to the future of money. And so what I mean by this is a world where money is more secure, a world where it's cheaper to move your rands, your dollars around from point A to point B. A world where cryptocurrency can act as a better store of value than normal fiat currencies, and also where it's safe to transact. You don't have to worry about your credit card details being stolen or being hacked when you do online transactions. And so also, all in all, being connected to our global peers, because cryptocurrency, or Bitcoin specifically, is a global currency. It knows no borders. Mm-hmm. So we are building the bridge between money that we know, the dollars and the rands that we have in our pockets, and the future of money, which we believe to involve some form of decentralization, such as a cryptocurrency. With decentralization comes more freedom to transact, and at the end of the day, it's money that's not controlled by governments or by central banks. And it's not a bad thing that money is controlled by governments, central banks. But at the end of the day, it adds extra complexity in terms of costs, in terms of delays in doing payments and the ease of doing transactions. And that is what cryptocurrency is trying to address. So LUNO was founded back in 2013. We operate across 40 countries currently. We have offices in South Africa, obviously in Cape Town. We have our main operational team. I think we have a team of just over 200 people based in Cape Town. And then I'm based in Joburg. We have a team up here as well. And then across Africa, in Lagos and London and Singapore and so forth. We launched in Australia, in fact, yesterday. So that was a good achievement for us in lockdown. And so over the last 7 years, we've grown to just over 5 million customers globally as well. So we've seen good growth from that perspective. And so the good news is that most of that growth we've seen across emerging markets, so across South Africa and across Nigeria. And I think that points to the need in these regions where customers can't do things with their local currencies what they would like to do with the local currency. So it's very expensive for someone in South Africa or someone in Nigeria to send their hard-earned money to their family members in a neighboring country. It's very difficult for people in Zimbabwe, for example, where they have rapid inflation and their currency depreciated to basically being worthless as well. So we're seeing the growth in these countries because there's a need for an alternative way to store your money to transact. So Stephen, I think to summarize, I've said a lot now, but LUNO helps ordinary people to access this world of cryptocurrencies with their local currency. We make it easy for people to buy cryptocurrency, to sell cryptocurrency, and more importantly, to learn about it. So I think that is what differentiates LUNO from some of the other cryptocurrency platforms out there, is the fact that we provide you from your first entry point when you download LUNO's application on your phone or you open up your account. We provide you with the learning opportunity to understand what crypto is, to learn about the risks, and to really equip yourself with the knowledge before you take the first step.
Okay. Wow, Marius, I think that's so informative, and I think you've answered so many questions that have been bouncing around in my mind at the same time. Because number one, a lot of people don't understand cryptocurrency that much, and obviously still fearful of divulging into crypto because it's money they have that people see as money that's disappearing in a sense, right? So it's good to know, number one, that it's obviously also growing in a time like that we're going through. Cryptocurrencies benefiting, so people should be plugging themselves into this now because this is the time that they should be benefiting from this crisis, right? So obviously there's a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty in people's minds about crypto, right? What are the most exciting reasons to become involved in these digital currencies then?
Yes, Stephen. So I think if we take a step back and look at what Bitcoin really is, I think firstly, Bitcoin is the world's first digital public payments infrastructure. And if we compare public payments infrastructure with something that we already know, we can compare it to cash, so banknotes. A cash transaction is completely peer-to-peer, meaning that you only need yourself and the counterparty to be present to do the transaction to complete the deal, right? So it's a public payments method. Compare that to electronic or EFT payments, where you have to rely on an intermediary such as a bank or the company that will process your card transaction at the store, and that's not completely public, right? So what we have here is a digital public infrastructure where between two people sitting in different regions around the world will now have the ability to transact with each other and to exchange value. So I think that in itself is extremely powerful, and it's the first time that we've had this that we've had this ability digitally to transact in this way.
Yeah.
I think keeping up with the times, we live in the year 2020. Where money has changed many times in the past. If we look back thousands of years, from times that people bartered with stones and livestock, to a point where paper money was invented, paper notes, banknotes, which we still use. So we see cryptocurrency as the next stage in this evolution of money, because money has changed shapes many times in the past, and this is just part of the natural evolution. So again, if you compare this to something we already know, and you compare this to the telecoms industry, you'll see that the telecoms industry, the way in which it has evolved over the last couple of decades, from sending postcards, back into the pirate days where they had to roll the note into a bottle and throw it into the ocean, to the advent of landline phones, where you had to sit and dial in a fixed landline phone. And then cell phones, WhatsApp, and now doing Skype calls. And I mean, we're doing this Zoom call, super easy and cheap, basically for free. And so money is on the same evolution, on the same track to evolve. So I think that in itself is very exciting to know that there's a future out there where we will be able, where money will become more frictionless, and that is what we are trying to achieve at LUNO.
Yeah, and also safer in that same sense, right?
No, absolutely. No.
Yeah. So now you've given us the explanation about cryptocurrency. You've given us the explanation about LUNO, right? So now I've got my cell phone. I've downloaded LUNO. I'm excited. I've topped up my wallet. I've put some cash in there. It's payday now, so I've topped up my LUNO wallet. Now, Marius, what are some of the amazing things that we can do with our LUNO wallets? What is the purpose of that wallet? How can I use it as a payment system, and how can I start putting money into that crypto in itself?
Yeah, good question. I think step one would be, as soon as you land on LUNO's website, as soon as you install the app and you're ready to go, would be to maybe delve into LUNO's learning portal. We have a lot of resources that's easy to understand and to digest. So that's the first step, right? You need to understand what is it that you're buying. If you're buying Bitcoin, you need to understand the risks. For example, the Bitcoin price can be very volatile. So if you put your money in today, the price isn't only guaranteed to go up, the price will also come down. So you need to understand some of the basic risks that's involved.
Yeah.
And then secondly, once you've decided that you're ready to take the leap and dip your toes into cryptocurrency for the first time, my advice would be to start small. So buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. It's one of the misconceptions out there that you have to buy one Bitcoin, and one Bitcoin is currently worth just over 200,000 Rand. So not a lot of people have that kind of money to just buy one Bitcoin and just go on, right? So, but on LUNO, we make it easy for you, and you can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin for as little as 20 Rand. So buy a fraction, 0.0001 Bitcoin for $20, and play around. See how the app functions. See whether you like the way it functions. See whether you can trust it. And then once you're more comfortable and you understand how the app functions, you've now deposited Rands onto LUNO to buy your first Bitcoin. By the way, if we take a step back, you have to, once you've opened your LUNO account and you've verified yourself, you have to send Rands from your bank account to LUNO. And once we've allocated that Rand balance to your LUNO account, then you can go on and you can buy Bitcoin through LUNO's app. So now you've gone and you've transacted, you've bought your first fraction of a Bitcoin. Now you can use it in different ways. So firstly, a lot of people, and most people, use Bitcoin as an investment. So they buy Bitcoin and they for the long term. A lot of people buy Bitcoin at month end. And they see Bitcoin as a long-term investment. They believe in the technology, and they buy Bitcoin for specific reasons. Many people buy it as a hedge against future inflation. They buy it to diversify their portfolios, etc. Other people speculate. So short-term speculators, and they think the price will go up in the next week or two, and they buy Bitcoin, and then they hope that the price will move, and then they can profit. So that's obviously very risky because the price isn't guaranteed to go up. But then, yes, a lot of people use it for payments as well. So in South Africa, many businesses will allow you to pay for goods and services in cryptocurrency. In Cape Town, for example, in the Cape Town CBD, a lot of coffee shops now accept cryptocurrency, where you use your LUNO application and you scan a QR code, and that payment is processed in cryptocurrency. You don't have to pay in Rands. So I think that the main reason, yes, is to speculate, to see it as a long-term investment. For that, you need to be a bit more sophisticated and understand what it is that you're buying. But if you're just using it as a payment method, then you can send it to a friend. It works in a similar way to how you would do a bank payment. You will have to enter a specific code or specific number inside your LUNO app that you get from the person you're sending the funds to. And then that payment is processed, and that person should receive the Bitcoin in their account within a matter of minutes, in fact. So that's the main reasons, and so most people start small. They buy a fraction, and they first familiarize themselves with the app and with cryptocurrency.
Awesome! Wow, that's so much. I've never even thought about it. I'm actually just thinking about when I started investing in LUNO, in crypto, and I was just like, wow, one Bitcoin is valued at 120,000 Rand. And now I look at it, and it's now almost double that from when I started. So like you can almost notice how quickly your investment can either fluctuate so well. And definitely in terms of the long term, you want to look at it like that, right? So
I just have to say as well that in between that period when you first watched the price and now, the price did drop below 100,000 as well. So
yes,
just to prove my point that it is volatile, and people should be aware of that. Yeah.
And that's the amazing thing, is that it fluctuates a bit, but it could also it plays in your benefit mostly in that same sense. So Marius, I'm somebody that I don't really know much about cryptocurrency. Obviously, now that you're chatting to me, you've enlightened me so much. But which cryptocurrency would you suggest is best to buy in the current climate, current market?
Good question. There are more than 3,000 different cryptocurrencies out there, of which most of these are scams, unfortunately. Many of these offer different use cases. So some cryptocurrencies will exclusively act as a payments network. Some cryptocurrencies act as a better store of value, so you can use it as an investment, for example. But I think if you're new to cryptocurrency, you would just like to, you're just interested, would just like to dip your toes or get skin in the game, I would suggest to start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the world's first cryptocurrency. It was created back in 2009. It's by far the most widely used cryptocurrency, or most widely adopted. Most people owning cryptocurrency will definitely have Bitcoin in the wallets as well. It has the best track record. So I definitely think I would encourage you to start with Bitcoin. And then from LUNO's side, we do a lot of work to ensure that we only offer the safest and the most secure cryptocurrencies on LUNO. So we out of the more than 3,000, we only offer 5 coins on LUNO. So we do a lot of the hard work and the homework on your behalf. So any of those 5 coins, being Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ethereum, or XRP, any of those coins should be safe in terms of hacks, etc. But if you would like to start small and have more access to resources like learning materials, I would advise you to start with Bitcoin. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. How do I start? I've tapped on my wallet. I've chosen I'm gonna go with Bitcoin, right? How do I start earning? Because I'm sure that's the one question everybody wants to know. They don't want to know how much. They don't want to know about time. They don't want to know about how much they need to put in. They want to know how much they're gonna earn and when they're gonna start earning.
Yeah. Well, Stephen, it's actually a scary question. This, I think that's the thing. You don't just start earning with Bitcoin. Bitcoin behaves much like a traditional share that you buy through your stock brokerage, for example, a banking share or Naspers or whatever. You don't just earn interest on that share. You don't have a guaranteed return that after the 1 week you will have 10% gain. Nothing works that way. If someone comes to you and say, "Hey, I can give you 10% return week on week," then that is guaranteed a scam, and you should run for the hills. So I think firstly, Bitcoin's price is determined by the forces of supply and demand. Let's use an example. You want to buy Adidas sneakers. It's new sneakers in the market, and it launched with 1,000 rand per pair, and over 6 months the demand's through the roof. People love the sneakers, and Adidas will then have leverage to say, "Listen, let's increase the price here because there's a big demand." So similar with cryptocurrency. The number of people wanting to buy and people wanting to sell Bitcoin will ultimately balance out the price. So important here is that at LUNO, we don't set the price. We don't sell Bitcoin. We just provide the platform for you to buy and sell from other cryptocurrency enthusiasts, for that matter.
Yes.
So a lot of factors can influence the price, much like how the price of stocks get influenced. So if there's an increase in interest, increase in adoption. So if more people suddenly start to buy Naspers shares, then the price will be driven up. Things like positive and negative media articles. So if there's a media article that puts Bitcoin or that puts the company in a negative light, then it might impact the price. Regulatory progress. So if the central bank comes out and say, "We think crypto is a scam," it will probably impact the price negatively. So a couple of factors similar to how a share price will fluctuate. And so the most important thing from this is that there's no guaranteed return. You can't just earn the price. Your investment or your value will increase as the price of cryptocurrency or Bitcoin increases over time. And as I said earlier, I think it's important to understand the risks. And if you decide to start, buy a fraction of a Bitcoin for 20, 30, 40, $50 and learn that way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think you've blown my mind so much when it comes to how I think about cryptocurrency. I mean, I'm naturally a reservist in when it comes to investing, but obviously, like you're saying, like the nice part about what LUNO offers is the fact that it doesn't have to be a big amount. And I think a lot of people, the common misconception is the fact that when you start with crypto, you have to have a lot of money, or you have to put a big investment in it. And I think what you're explaining to people about, like, even if it's just like a $30 or $50, start off there, test the water with that, and then just see how happy or how things progress from there. So lastly, Marius, right? There's some fans watching this right now that are gonna be like, I'm almost there. I need a little bit more convincing, right? So I want Marius's top three tips or top three reasons as to why would I want to invest, and why would I want to jump on board the cryptocurrency bus with LUNO.
Okay. I'm not a marketer. I'm an accountant by trade. So accountants tend to be boring, and they're not salespeople. But okay. So if I have to give this a go, I think firstly, I think Bitcoin is challenging the status quo. Just because we've done things in a certain way in the past doesn't mean that we have to continue doing that. So you don't have to continue seeing things in terms of countries of borders. You can only transact with people within that market. Many global companies like Apple, like Google, like Facebook, all of them are working on their own versions of digital money, a cryptocurrency, essentially trying to make transacting between different platforms easier. So what if you can use WhatsApp to send money to someone, to a friend? What if you can use Facebook, money on Facebook to pay for goods and marketplace without having to do an EFT from your bank account to that person's bank account, and you don't know whether the person will cheat you or scam you? What if you don't have to enter your card details online just because you want to read an article, but you have to pay? There's a paywall. You have to pay the Financial Times to read that article. What if you don't want to enter your card details and you just tap to pay with cryptocurrency, and you can read your content, right? You can consume your content. So the world is changing. People start to think differently, and I think that is what makes this opportunity so exciting, is that we've seen all these inventions and all these advances in telecoms and in the automotive industry, etc. But we haven't seen the same advances in the payments and in the money space. So this is the evolution of money. This is what will play out over the next 5 to 10 years. I think the world is becoming a global marketplace. It shouldn't be that difficult for you to export or to provide services to someone in a neighboring market and be constrained or confined to borders, and that's that's preventing you from doing business on a global scale. And then, as I said, I think the exciting thing about this is the fact that it's truly peer-to-peer transactions. It's public digital infrastructure. You can buy a game, a computer game, or whatever PlayStation game from someone that sits in Russia or that sits in Hong Kong or the other side of the world in a matter of seconds at a fraction of the cost and the complexity that it would cost someone having to do normal payments. So I think it's still very young if you consider that Bitcoin is only 10 years old at this stage. Compare that to fiat currency, which is, I think, 50, 60, 70 years old, which isn't that old if you think about it, and that makes it puts it even in perspective that the dollar as we know today was only invented in the 60s and 70s, right? And so it's not that old. So why do we have to continue on that paradigm forever, right? So I think my last message would be to open a LUNO account, buy 20 rands with Bitcoin, and start the learning journey that way.
Yeah, awesome, Marius. Thank you so much for chatting with us. I'm on the top of my wallet right now. I know there's no excuses. It's payday. It's Monday. It's a good time to be topping up my wallet. And I'm obviously very excited to see like how my money grows. Obviously, just start off a bit lighter. Don't just go in with all that you have, and then just testing it out. I think is the very exciting bit about that. And there's obviously no commitment to having to put in a certain amount every single month. The amount that you invest is up to you as a investor or as a fan. And obviously us at CONverse Africa, we know that LUNO is our future money partner. We're excited that LUNO's on board, and we just want to progress and see how well this does, and see and then open it up more to fans, because this is the future of money as we say it, right?
Absolutely. And maybe just the last word. You can find the LUNO application on the Android store. Just type in LUNO. You install the app. It's free of charge. You don't have to pay for the application. You can find it on the App Store, on iOS as well, and then our website, which is just luno.com. So sign up, open your accounts today, and start your journey to financial freedom.
Yeah, well, guys, you heard it from Marius himself, right? Start your journey now and don't waste any time. This is the time to invest. It's never, we're not going to tell you how much you want to do. This is all up to you. Marius, thank you so much for joining us, Marius. It was awesome chatting to you, and we'll see you again in the future, yeah?
Thanks, Stephen.
Awesome.
Best of luck. Cheers.
Cheers, Marius.